Hey folks, welcome to Dwayne Outdoors. I've got a little project I'm doing. I was putting wood in for the night, and I decided, you know what, I want to make some fire starters. So I'm going to show you guys just a basic way to make really good fire starters for your indoor usage or outdoor usage, for your fireplaces or camping, whatever you want. It's a real easy thing to do. A lot of people do it wrong because they put, too much wax, or they'll put too much sawdust, or they don't. So I'm just going to walk you through it, show you how we make them up here. Alright, first you need just a good can of any kind. Make sure it's metal, and then whatever old candles you got. These ones the wife particularly doesn't like them, so they'll work fine. And the next step, I'll take you guys over here. Well, what I like to do is I like to cut my candles up after I've put in my sawdust. So here I've been cutting wood and monkeying around. So the reason why I do this first is I think it just gauges it much better. I like to put in about an inch. And it doesn't matter how roughly cut your sawdust is. It can be really small chunks or fine powder. It doesn't really matter. It'll work the same. No problem. So you want to get about an inch at the most in there. See how I got that? So you want about an inch. And that looks about right. So it doesn't take much, and this will make a lot. So we're going to go ahead and go back over here and sift through a little bit. Pick out a few of the smaller pieces or undesirables that you don't want. A little bit of this and that. Yeah, that's fine. And then this stuff here, because this is going to go, you'll see what I do with it. I'll just take my old knife here and put big chunks, and it doesn't even matter if the rope stays in it, honestly. Cut you off some pretty good pieces. Oop. This should cut this way. There we go. And start out with just a small amount, like maybe a candle and a half, depends on the size, but you could judge by looking at it and go, okay, when this melts, I'll bet you that would give me maybe an inch, about the same as the sawdust. So you don't want to put a whole bunch of wax at first. You can add this later, but here we go. That's a good starter. Then we'll just take it and run over and put it on top of our wood stove. And we'll keep our eye on it and see what happens. I've done this a couple times before, and it worked out really well. So let's see. Up and over the tarp. There we are. All right. We'll just set this right on top of here. It's not very hot. And we'll just slowly let that burn, let that melt as I'm adding. And in case anybody was wondering too, I've shown you guys a whole bunch of times how we're doing with our wood stove, and we have the system where we double fan it and it runs right into our house. This is our primary heat. This house is 1,600 square foot, upstairs, downstairs. And let's go take a peeky and see what the current temperature is in the house. This is right in my living room.
Biscuits, please. Oh.
Yeah, there it is. It's maintaining 75 to 80. I don't like it 80, so I kind of wait. But 75 is usually the sweet spot. So that's pretty darn good. pretty comfortable. Right now standing 10 feet away from this fan, and that's hot. So alright. We'll let this slowly melt here. I can feel that can, it's already getting warm. And see how I have this on top of that? You don't want it directly in there because now it'll melt through your wood. That's what you want. You don't want to do it like any other way because this is the way to do it and it'll slowly melt. Okay, we'll get back at you and we'll give them a test. Hey folks, I've got an update here. Instead, I'm going to do this in a different way that I've never done before, but it should be fine. And besides, if some kind of an accident happens, that's just better for filming and everything, so that's fine. If I set myself on fire or anything, most of you will find that entertaining, I believe. So I've moved it to a pan, and I'm going to melt the wax with the pan and then add it into the wood, which I will be taking off the fire in a minute because of course I'm not going to leave that up there. But I'm going to give that a try. I've never done it like that, but it just seems like a little bit of a better method. It's alright. We're going to try this out and see what happens. Add a little wood to the wood stove. And then we're going to compare these to the ones that are made professionally in Escanaba, which work really excellently, of course. These are, I'll show you one. Sorry about the lighting. They're just a, so I wonder if these are going to be superior or not. These are really good. So we'll see what we create. I don't know. 1980s fire starters from Escanaba versus stupid Dwayne's experiment out in the garage, which I have done twice before in my life. I've never done it like this, but it should work. We'll give it a try. I think we'll stoke up the fire pretty good too. Ooh, that's hot. There we go. Throw a couple of them in there. All right, we'll get back with you and we'll compare and see what we got. All right, so look at that. We got that only took about a few minutes there, and we've got totally melted wax. Really good. So we're gonna take it and move her over here. See if we can dump a little bit on there and go from there. All right. There's our first little bit. See how that looks? Now, the key to this is to just let it sit for a while. We'll stir it up a little bit and then let it sit. And you really don't want to mess with it too much. Just let it sit. It'll kind of soak in there purposefully. It's fine. All right, and then we'll bang it out. All right then, folks, here we are. And we got some more melted wax. This is our first batch. I threw a little more sawdust in there and melted one more pan of wax, just a little bit, 2 or 3 more pieces. And you're trying to get like about a 50-50 ratio is what you want. And what do I got to stir it with? I'll just use a pencil right in here. We're just gonna throw this in there. Don't need that piece that isn't melted. Just wiggle this around. And we're just stirring this. I'm doing this a little differently than I've done it in the past, so that's okay though. We'll let this sit up. That's about stirred up good enough. As long as you know it's stirred up pretty darn well, you're all right. Different ways of doing it. See, I shook it so there's nothing. Let that cool for a few minutes, and then I got just a little tiny, really super cool old little cast iron. That's pretty neat. But I'm gonna form some molds with that, and that'll be quite a bit. And then we'll compare them, see if they work right compared to the Escanaba ones, the professional ones. This will be interesting. And like I said, these are the 1980s ones from Escanaba, Michigan. They got little instructions and things on them. They're way old, and here's one of them. And you can light these up in a heartbeat, and they will just literally go right off. It does not take much at all, see that? So these work really well. So we'll see what we got. Now I just went ahead and scooped up a little bit, and then I'm slowly draining it off of the top. I've made a scoop. It's been about 5 minutes. It cooled just enough to where you can mess with it. So that's what you want to do. And then just let it drain. It does not take long for this to cool. And once it seems like it's drained quite a little bit, flap it over. Look at that. Do the same thing again. Get down here. Move everything around in it. Grab you a nice dish full. And then let it drain a little bit. There you go. So yeah, I've got that. You gotta kind of poke it a little bit just to get her to do its thing. Jeez, it looks like dog slobber, doesn't it? And that's about right. Ooh, that one didn't turn as good. That's okay though, we can form them. And then the rest of this, I'll just redo another batch. I'll add a little more wood to it and then add a little more wax, and we'll, basically what you want is a mold that's like this. But our main experiment is how well does it light compared to a commercial one. All right, folks, so here we are, and I let it sit for a while. We finally got her, so she's hardened right up. She's like a brick. So this is the consistency that, of course, we're looking for. Whoa, light, be nice. There. Anyhow, so give it one last look-see here. So this is our Escanaba from 1980, whatever it was. Let's check it out. Yeah. Yeah, that works pretty good. Okay, so that blows up pretty fast. But it's still, that's, you know, really effective. Now let's get a chunk of the stuff that we made. Do a little bit of a thing with that. Check it out. Same exact thing. Wow, that actually kind of helped a little bit better. There we have it. Looks like beef jerky and some kind of vomit or something. I don't know, but yeah, all you need is a piece, obviously, this small. So, you know, this is enough for a whole lot of camping. So there you have it, man, and that's just ready to go. All right, thanks for our little experiment and checking it out with me, and like, share, and subscribe, and I'll get a hold of you guys on the next video. We'll figure something out. Maybe we'll use this, go camping. I'm getting ready anyway.